It's that time again, people. WWE just released a bunch of talent, including Shayna Baszler, Dakota Kai, Shotzi, Cora Jade, Braun Strowman, and it's really hard to add anything to this conversation because it feels like I'm making this type of video every 6 months at this point. But surely wrestling fans took it well, didn't make it all about themselves, didn't ask for anybody else to get fired. No, wait a minute, it's worse. We owe this man an apology. What do you think I did to Vince McMahon? But we'll talk about these releases, SmackDown, the WWE draft, all of that on greatness of wrestling. Welcome back to the channel, ladies and gentlemen. I have no idea what to add to this conversation. Like I've said, it keeps on happening, and it's unfortunately, part of professional wrestling. I feel like you, as a viewer, as a fan, the only thing you need to do is support these wrestlers, and if you're truly such a big fan, make sure you support them in different companies. The unfortunate reality of professional wrestling is, especially with these talents, like, first of all, let's take a look. So many NXT talents, so many promising young people, so many people from the main roster, which I'm going to focus on because I'm more familiar with the talent. It's a bad day for these wrestlers, for their colleagues, for wrestling fans. Any reasonable person can understand that. Now, I'm gonna try to add to this conversation. Obviously, my opinion, my take on this is pretty obvious. I'm sad to see all of these talent being let go. You're not gonna hear me saying, good job WWE, fuck them talent. Nothing to celebrate right here. A lot of people lost their jobs. But again, just like every year, we get weird-ass takes. This is greatness of wrestling, people. We talk about weird-ass shit. We talk about the diarrhea of professional wrestling, the bottom. Again, wrestling fans are saying, why is this person fired but this person is not? It's a dick thing to do. It doesn't necessarily mean that people who got fired are less talented, not at all. But maybe WWE do see something more in their character. Whether we agree with that or not, doesn't matter. That's not the point. You shouldn't be asking for somebody to get fired just because you don't like their particular style of wrestling or their gimmick or whatever it may be. You know what, people? Even Logan Paul, I'm seeing a lot of people are saying, and this person is employed. But people don't seem to realize it wasn't the case of let's fire the biggest douchebags of the company. It was a case of WWE firing people they have nothing for creatively. And looking at some of these talent, and that's kinda shocking. But look, life's unfair, Logan Paul is popular, he brings eyes to WWE. Let's get that out of the way. I know the emotions are high, but the response is so illogical. We owe this man an apology. Vince McMahon is universally missed. If he would come back for just 1 month, wrestling would be cool again. Just 1 month. Just 1 month with Vince McMahon. I miss you, Vince. Touch me on my privates! Touch me in my privates, Vince! It's like my new catchphrase right now. The fuck? Now, people are blaming TKO, kinda rightfully so. I'm starting to think a lot of wrestling fans started watching WWE in 2020 or something like that. These big WWE releases been happening for years and years and years, people. With Vince McMahon, without Vince McMahon, it's been happening all the time. We have every right to criticize WWE. Again, I'm looking at some of these talent, I'm like, they have a lot of potential. It doesn't make any goddamn sense. But this idea that TKO changed WWE and this is a new thing is absolutely ridiculous. People, I'm seeing fans protesting, saying, if you're watching SmackDown, fuck you. You terrible human being. And I gotta ask you, if you're so self-righteous, why didn't you stop watching WWE 5 years ago when we got a bunch of releases? What's different now, necessarily? WWE will make mistakes, terrible ass decisions, AEW will do the same, and you're gonna keep watching. If you truly care about the talent being released, what you need to do right now is follow the wrestling journey. That's all you can do, really. If that's gonna make you stop watching WWE, fair point. But if you're gonna shame wrestling fans for watching SmackDown, and you know for a fact you're gonna keep on watching, then you're just being a fake ass bitch. Come on. It always happened in professional wrestling, and that's the unfortunate reality. Shayna Baszler got released. It's really unfortunate that WWE never used her to her full potential. I feel like if Triple H was in control earlier, she would be one of the biggest stars. Like, this was a different version of Shayna Baszler. Relatively big name though, so I'm pretty sure going to end up seeing her in TNA. I find it weird how this was one of the only legit women's tag teams, and WWE released them. Some of these really make no sense whatsoever. Like, a lot of times, and this happened the previous time WWE released a bunch of talent, they released talent that they actually kinda need. Like, most of the tag teams, women's women's tag teams are just a bunch of single superstars put together, randomly. Dakota Kai's release kinda shocked me. One of the fan favorites, and I remember when we got this Intercontinental Championship tournament, I really thought she's going to be the first ever Intercontinental Champion, and I really saw her as Triple H's girl, right? Like, Triple H has certain talent he likes. I really thought she's one of them. When Damage Control returned, I saw a lot of potential. Also, Shotzi got released, or I think her contract is expiring and WWE are not gonna renew it. She had a very different look in the WWE, and that is always a positive. You gotta stand out, so another unfortunate release. Also, Cora Jade kinda shocked me. CM Punk is kind of her mentor. Obviously, he left a response. Now, you guys know I'm not watching NXT, but I always saw her as this, next big thing. Like, you look at certain NXT talent and you always feel like, okay, these are the next stars of tomorrow, and I kinda saw her as that. Now, Braun Strowman is probably the biggest star that got released, which is kinda surprising. I mean, Braun Strowman really grew on me. He improved so much over the past few years. He had a decent rivalry with Bronson Reed. He had a decent rivalry with Jacob Fatu. He was being used, but it seemed like WWE kinda, I don't know how to put this, used Braun Strowman in every way they wanted him. I feel like they brought him back to build other big guys, and that's exactly what they did. And I feel like WWE had no other plans for him. Just to basically feed him to other big guys. Former Universal Champion, pretty big star, I would say. Feed him to other big guys, and let him go. And this is what I always say to fanboys. It doesn't matter what you watch. I only watch WWE, but I'm so glad AEW exists. I'm so glad TNA is thriving again. If you truly love professional wrestling, you respect the people who entertain you, you should be happy that there are more job opportunities. At least when somebody gets released by a company, there are more opportunities that sometimes can work in their benefit, and maybe they can even come back to the WWE. Here's something wrestling fans need to realize. I don't need to watch AEW, TNA, New Japan, whatever the case may be, to appreciate the fact we have some sort of competition or alternative. I'm gonna keep on watching what I enjoy. I don't care what other people enjoy, but it doesn't mean everybody has to like the same things I do. People, I want to talk about SmackDown. So, the good news is, according to Dave Meltzer, on June 6th, maybe it's going to be 2 hours long. I want to get on my knees, people, and say, Lord, thank you. Oh my god, did you see this previous episode of SmackDown? Like, I was making a review, and after 10 minutes, I'm like, I can't upload this to YouTube. I have nothing positive to say. This shit's boring. It's uneventful. And I'm gonna give you a hot take, people. Maybe too hot to handle, I don't know. Maybe, should I say it? Okay, so this show had 6 matches on the show, which in theory sounds great. My hot take is that it doesn't matter. You always see these comparisons, Raw, SmackDown, NXT, Dynamite, maybe even TNA, and people give you a percentage of matches we got per show. What if I tell you it doesn't matter? It really doesn't matter. A good show is a good show. A boring show is a boring show. Most weekly TV matches don't really mean anything. Especially on this episode of SmackDown. Like, if you can give me championship matches, number 1 contenders matches, sure, I get it, but I hate when I feel like my time is being wasted with filler, and that's exactly what these SmackDown episodes are doing to us. What are the things people are talking about after Raw or SmackDown ends? It's not necessarily matches, it's moments and promos. Premium live events is where wrestling truly matters. On Raw and SmackDown, you need to get me excited about premium live events. And don't get me wrong, wrestling is important. I'm just saying it didn't have that variety. We just saw a match after match and none of them really mattered. I guess my point is, if the show is boring, I don't care how much wrestling you gave us. Speaking of change, WWE Draft is returning sometime this year according to WrestleVotes. Another thing that we desperately need, but I hate the fact that I'm not necessarily excited about the draft as a show, which is something I used to love as a kid, man. I even used to love this goofy ass shit where they used to fight and the winner would get a draft pick. I know it's goofy as hell, but man, It's sports entertainment. Entertain me! Now they're doing it in the most basic way possible, but we have general managers. Give us a beef between Adam Pearce and Nick Aldis. Make it exciting, make them fight for draft picks, whatever it may be. Make me feel like there's some sense of competition, like they have something to gain from these draft picks. What you probably also noticed lately is that the brand split barely even exists anyway. It's like WWE have no idea right now who should be on SmackDown, who should be on Raw. I feel like we need a draft in the next 2 months desperately. Hopefully around the time we get back to the 2-hour format, so both Raw and SmackDown can actually be enjoyable. Some people said in the comments, you want SmackDown to be 2 hours long because you're lazy to make a long review. Let me reveal something about YouTube. If I only cared about what benefits me, I would love WWE shows to be 5 hours long, 5 days a week. Longer videos get you more revenue. More shows get you more revenue. But I'm not doing that. I don't care. I want the product to be better. I'm not doing these 20-30 minute yapping videos anyway. I guess I am selfish in a way where I'm like, I gotta watch SmackDown. I need to make a review. And I'm not excited about it. Like, I know the show is gonna be boring as hell. People, that's all I got for you today. Thank you so much for watching this video. As always, the great one. Peace, love, and hugs. It's been a pleasure.